I've been playing Evil West, which is a new game from Flying Wild Hog Studios. They are the developers behind the Shadow Warrior series. If you're familiar with the Shadow Warrior series, it's hilarious. It's so self-referential. It's ridiculous. It's bad, crass jokes. And it's that kind of Duke Nukem era of first-person shooters, and the lead character is called Wang, so there's lots of Wang jokes, that kind of thing. Chinese mythology and that kind of stuff for the Shadow Warrior. So they have released this new game, which is very much like John Carpenter vampires. It's really like B-movie, schlocky, campy, ridiculous, does not take itself seriously. So you're a cowboy and you're a vampire hunter. Think Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter kind of vibe to it all, right? So you're a legacy hunter. Your family is like the brotherhood, the set up the brotherhood for hunting vampires and monsters and werewolves and stuff like that. But it's all at the backdrop of like Red Dead Redemption kind of thing. But it's very pure in its linearity, very old school, and like PS3, Xbox 360, Gears of War kind of vein. It's very, very linear. You don't really deviate too much. There's no convoluted systems. There's no like monetization stuff. It's just, it's just a pure little action game, and it's start to finish, and then you're kind of done with it. And I love that. I love that these kind of games are coming back from bygone era. They're not getting bogged down on how bloated and how complex a lot of modern games have become, and the expectation of stuff it full of stuff, cram it full of systems and different upgrades and skins and stuff that you can buy and upgrade your character and all this kind of bullshit. And this is just, you know what? You put it in, it's like Soul Reaver or Gears of War or old school God of War. It's a balls to the wall action game, and it's so much fun. And the mechanics are so slick that I liken it to, it has the over the shoulder kind of feel of God of War 2018, right? But it plays much more like a Doom 2016, where it's that kind of combat chess sort of mentality when you go into the combat basins or the arenas and you start getting all of these demons and vampires coming at you. It's like you got to assess who to go for first. Is it the heavy? Is it the light ones? And what I loved is like similar to Doom 2016, where the X button or the square if you're on PlayStation would bring up the chainsaw and it'd be like an instant heavy move. Like power moves are kind of mapped to the face buttons. So you've got that as a mechanic there, but also if you left trigger as you bring up your rifle and then you fire as normal, but if you just without aiming, if you press and hold the right trigger, you will pull up your revolver and you will fan the gun and fire rapidly. So you don't really have to aim because it's all auto aiming, and you don't have to reload because it's auto reloading. So there's this arcadiness to it that keeps the action going constantly, and you're moving around, you're doing the different commands, the different button inputs, almost kind of combo style. And you have this supercharged lightning gauntlet as well to punch the shit out of people and the creatures. But also you can tether them, Jamie, kind of like a grapple hook. So you can slingshot yourself to them to do a power punch, kind of like in Doom Eternal with the shotgun grapple, or in Halo Infinite. Or you can lasso them to yourself and then get them out of the group of baddies and isolate them. And because it's an electrically charged gauntlet, it will shock them. So you see the skeleton as they're like convulsing and as you lay this combo smackdown on them. It is fucking brilliant. It is so much fun. And because it does not take itself seriously at all, it's just a riot. And you look like this utter badass cowboy with the 6-shooter and the rifle and the stun cattle prod and the gauntlet. And I'm unlocking more weapons and abilities now. Like you have this ultimate... Like a Spartan Rage kind of move, Sarah, where you click the both thumbsticks in and it's like you'll unleash the lightning in your gauntlet and you will just like zip around the battlefield just smacking the shit in this ginormous power move. And it's just so much fun because it's not trying to be this grandiose epic like stuffed filled with side content and exploration and open world mechanics and all this other stuff. It is just A to B bloodfest of SmackDown and brawler, and it's just a lot of fun. And the writing's actually quite funny good. Cheesy as shit, like unbelievably cheese with a side of brie sort of thing. It is unbelievably bad at times, but it's also so funny and cheesy. You just got to kind of go with it. Highly recommend it. And I picked it up for like 35 quid. So it's not even like mega expensive, but it's really, really good. I'm playing on performance mode on Xbox. There's a big furor about that when the game came out, that it can only do 4K 30 or 1080p 60 for performance mode, and obviously the internet was like, what the hell is this? I can't believe we were forced to play games at 1080p 60. But you know what? Whilst the image, because I'm playing on a 4K screen, so 1080p blown up to 4K, it does look soft. Having said that, it is flawless technically. Not a single issue, not a single bug, and it is just smooth as anything. And it's just such a joy to play. It just puts a smile on your face because it is that. I'm a cowboy, I'm a vampire hunter, I get to hunt werewolves, I get to lay a smackdown on Dracula. I don't even know if Dracula's in it, but this is like the granddaddy uber vampires as bosses and things like that, you know? And I really, really hope that this will spawn a sequel where they can expand on some things, but not lose the heart and the focus of the first game, because it's so good and it's so tight and it's just a lot of fun. If you want something big and dumb, switch your brain off and just punch the shit out of vampires and get geysers of blood everywhere. This is your game. It's so much fun.
What's it called again?
Evil West.
Evil West. Cool.
Yeah. It's a riot.
Awesome.
I thoroughly recommend it.
I love it's like, it sounds like the popcorn movie, you know, of gaming. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, not everything needs to be an Oscar winner. Some stuff just needs to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I will. Yeah, that sounds. I'll put that on the pile of shame.
One for this pile of shame. You've chipped away one thing from the pile of shame with Halo Infinite, Jamie. You've got another one to just take its place.
It's never happening, is it? Let's face it. I'm never getting to the bottom of this. I'm just. I've got 360 games still that I'm like, I need to get to that eventually.
100%, man, 100%.